Hey y'all, what's up? My name is Shelby. Welcome back to Seeds to Garden. I just wanted to do a quick video for you guys. I am currently doing some container planting and I wanted to kind of walk you through my process. So most people will tell you if you're putting anything in pots that you should be using a potting mix. It's light, it's aerated, it has extra nutrients to keep the plants happy and not root bound. It is very, very beneficial. However, I will say that the potting mix that I have come into, I've noticed has a little bit too much peat moss or coconut moss or things of that matter that actually make it become a little hydrophobic. So it doesn't want to absorb water. It kind of just sits on the top of the container and or spills out the dirt. It doesn't actually soak in. So I don't know if anybody else has experience with that, but I usually get Miracle-Gro potting mix. We have tried other different potting mixes in the past, and it doesn't seem to really make a difference. Everything seems very hydrophobic. So my solution this year is to mix my potting mix and my I actually got a raised bed mix. You could do any kind of like garden soil. Sometimes we'll use recycled soil. But my goal is to try and mix it so that it doesn't have quite as much peat moss, but it's still a little bit more aerated and won't condense down all the roots. So what I got is I actually got Whitney and Farms organic raised bed mix. It's specially designed for raised beds. I take that with a grain of salt. Dirt is dirt in my respect, but it does have added bone meal, earthworm castings, things of that nature, which I really liked. So that's why I got that. And then I just got regular Miracle-Gro potting mix. What I do is I actually get, I'll show you right here, I actually get a trash can. And then what I do is I do about a 50-50 mixture, and then I just kind of mix this all up. And so then what you get is still pretty aerated, but you've got a little bit more of that raised bed soil, so it should absorb water a little better than just using straight potting mix. So I'm currently working on all of my pots. I have them all laid out. My plan is to be able to plant what we just picked up from our nursery. So these 3 boxes are annuals, and then in this box we have perennials as well as some herbs and things of that nature. I also have a little bit of leftover seedlings from our planting. So my plan is to take the rest of these herbs and kind of push them in with some of our annual flowers just to brighten them up and not just have them by themselves in a pot. So that's what I'm going to be working on, and I'll show you the final result when we finish. Hey y'all, it's me again. As you noticed, it is very dark. I'm only lit by my fog lights, but I wanted to just tell y'all that we did finish it. We got all the pots planted. I'll do a little tour of them later when it's brighter, but we got it all accomplished, so that's super exciting. We have just a few little remnants left in the box that I think I can just kind of throw in places. But yeah, super excited, and I think this soil is going to work out. I was just watering it to see how it looked. This is my first year doing that 50-50 mixture because we were having such a hard time last year with everything being so hydrophobic. And literally last year when I would water this, you see how the water stays a little bit like a puddle for a while? It was like that for the whole thing. Like I would fill it and it would brim up and then literally spill over the top. It was not absorbing it. So this is already looking a lot more promising. I did not pre-wet any of this, so super excited with that. Just because I'm showing it to you, this is a really cool pot. I like this pot a lot. Just a little gardener's tip. If you guys notice in all of my videos, whenever I'm watering my garden, it's always at night when the sun is down. For newer gardeners, when you are wanting to water your garden, you never want to do it in the middle of the day. And the reason why is because when the sun is at its highest, you worry that they'll reflect the sunlight off of their leaves. And the big concern there is that you can actually scorch the plant. So that is why when we water at night. It's also a really good insulator for especially like beginning of the season when temperatures could drop a little bit overnight. It's a good insulator for overnight just to keep the plants warm if there's even a slight little freeze. Okay, see how that one's puddling up? That one must have more potting mix in it than another. And if I wouldn't have just made that flat, all that dirt would have went to one side. This is what I was talking about. So apparently this one has more potting mix in it. I didn't do the ratio the same as some of these. See how that, like, it pulls a little bit, but then it does absorb. That was not happening. It would take like 20 minutes last year for my plants' water to absorb. It would just sit on the top like that. See how all that water is like collecting? And if you don't leave it level, then your plants get uncovered. There we go. I'm just gonna give these guys a spritz. These are my perennials. My hope is for tomorrow, my husband's actually away. He is turkey hunting this weekend. So it's just me and the little boy. Trying to get anything done is gonna be hit or miss. But my hope would be that I could mow the grass, because I have to mow the backyard. I mowed the front yard the other day. But I'm gonna have to mow the grass, and then my hope would be I can plant the rest of these plants, because they are gonna start looking pretty sad very soon if I don't get them planted. Like my azalea that's over here, he's already looking wilty, and I only had him a few days, so he's got to get planted. This is what I have left over, and this isn't even really leftovers. I know where this is going. This is dill. This is going in my front garden. I have one Cosmo left over. These are shade plants, which I only realized after I put them in this pot with a bunch of sun plants. But I'm going to put this pot out front, and it only gets half the daylight sun. It gets morning sun, then midday to evening it doesn't get any sun, so hopefully partial shade is enough. And then I have some stuff upstairs as well, so I gotta take us upstairs. I'll show you that, why not? This is our little artichoke. He's doing pretty good. I stuck a flower in with him just to add a little scenery. And this strawberry is the one that I had covered over winter. And he was a little green, but now he's looking kind of brown. So I very well could be just watering dirt at this point, but I'm holding out hope. I do need to weed this. You can see on the right, all of that is weed. And it's actually supposed to be what's on the left, which are strawberries. And all of them have little buds already. Super excited. Yeah, I don't know what that weed is, but it took over winter. It might have been in the hay that we used to mulch. So I have to pull all that out because they are actually pushing all of my strawberries to the left side. So yeah. We have some baby trees here that we're working on. We're trying to plant some more trees around our house to give us a little more shade. This guy, you can't really see him. This is a popcorn plant. I really like popcorn plants. Had one last year, but he didn't overwinter well, so I decided this year I'm going to put one in a pot so I can bring him inside. Maybe he'll do better. And these are going to be way too dark for you to see. Yep. Everything's too dark for you to see up here, so I'll have to show it to you tomorrow.